Hello, I'm back to the bottom. My name is Beast, and today we're back with ToHeart. We finally got done with the annoying route. So now we're on to the I don't even know who the fuck this girl is route. Who are you? I don't know you. I don't know this one. I don't know this woman. Probably should have just skipped to like the first instance of me actually having to read something out instead of starting here like a dumb fuck. Yeah, right, you have to immediately start with fucking Shiho here. Yeah, I definitely regret doing it like this. So I want to know how many actual voice lines Setika's VA had recorded where she actually talks instead of just doing like a uh, um like just how many are there? Because there can't be more than like a handful. Absolutely thrilling. It's Tomoko! Just doing like this was definitely a mistake. I'm a dumbass. Well, guess we'll do more Intellectual reading. Go up here. The force passed out to the south gate and headed straight for Flowerfruit Mountain, where the Immortals selected a flat stretch of terrain to make camp and told Mighty Spirit to formally declare war. After buckling on his armor and taking up his axe of virtue, Mighty Spirit approached Water Curtain Cave, in front of which he could see crowds of horrors. Wolves, snakes, tigers, leopards, and the like. Oh yeah, go. Time to go meet the letter writer then. Let me just finish real very quick. Wolves, snakes, tigers, leopards, and the like, leaping and roaring, waving swords and spears. There we go. Alright, the prank or not, I'll at least get to kill some time. I'm gonna be honest, I thought for a second that said kill someone. Look at the classroom, holding out hope that it might be a genuine love letter. At the bridge corridor after school. The crowd is starting to thin. It's quiet. The energetic voices of those in the sports club training on the field make the silence more stark. Though the rider is near yet. They are late. Nah, the letter set to meet after school, but didn't give a time, so technically they aren't actually late. Decided to wait a while longer. Leaning against the vending machine, I spent my time staring at the clouds above the roof. Finally, a female student shows up. Is she the one? Nah, it seems like she's just headed somewhere after, heading to some after-school club. I'm overthinking. It isn't like me to be so unbelievably restless. It's just a prank after all, isn't it? I'm starting to feel like it was. Think about calmly, it doesn't make sense that a girl would have feelings for me. There's so many other guys who are a lot kinder, cooler, and more genuine than I am. Damn it. There has to be some sort of setup. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced she is beyond this. Won't be surprised if she's watching from somewhere right now, laughing at me. No harm trying to call her bluff then. Shout loudly and angrily. And then a girl I've never seen before steps out from the shadows. What? Oops, I appear to have vented my frustration in the wrong direction. She keeps apologizing desperately. Ask in confusion. She vows deeply to me. What the? So it wasn't a prank by Shiho? She seems genuinely sorry. Also, can I just say something real quick? You know how something that's very normal to be able to do with your foot is like, imagine this is like the big toe, and like something that's very normal to do is like being able to bend your big toe up a bit while the rest of your toes bend down a little bit. Like how I can do it perfectly fine on this foot. This, essentially. Let me try to do it on this foot. I can't right now. I don't know. Something in my muscle, in my fucking thigh is not thigh, calf. It's just blocking me from doing that. I can usually do that. And hell, if I can completely normally like manipulate them by hand to do that thing without there being actual any pain or something feeling off or something. It's just when I try to do it by the muscles controlling my toes alone that it does not want to listen to me, and it just feels wrong, and I hate it because sometimes your fucking socks just feel like they're a little bit off, so you need to wriggle your toes a little bit to fix them. But I can't do it! I can't fucking do it! And it's disgusting! I hate it! I hate this feeling! I try to appear as nonchalant as possible. The girl shrieks and stands up straighter. After gulping down her breath, she looks at me with determination in her eyes. Can't help but hold my breath as well. She starts talking with great intensity.
Memo?
Then she starts rummaging through her pockets. She's on the verge of tears. I blurted out, reacting like a fool. This is definitely one of those possible scenarios out of mind, but I'm caught off guard by the straightforward confession. And then she says it again. She doubles down by repeating her request. This is completely new to me, and I have no idea how to react.
そんないきなり返事って言われても。はいかイエスか。それだけでも構いません。
She's clearly panicking.
いや、はいとかイエスって問題じゃなくて。お願いします。あのさ、こういうのってそんな簡単に返事していいもんじゃないと思うんだけど。だからほら、俺たち初対面だし、俺リオちゃんのこととか何も知らないしさ。
She looks like you might just cry anytime.
だからこれから少しずつ知り合っていくという意味でも、まずは友達からってことで。
No, it sounds insensitive. Really isn't though? Like, even if she knows him because she happens to see him every now and again, clearly he doesn't know her. And at that point, even if he did say yes and put a fucking all-over relationship, it is completely fine to be like, hey, let's like at least get to know each other a little bit. I will say it is important. You do need to set like a time limit, essentially. Like, yes, let's just hang out, be friends for like a couple of weeks to a month, maybe. And afterwards, see where that shit goes. If by the end of the time limit, there is no emotion, or there is a reluctance to start going out, then no. If by the end, I literally do not see a point in me fucking rejecting you, because I genuinely enjoy spending time with you, then sure. And that makes me really embarrassed. She starts rummaging through her pockets again.
ひょっとしてメモだったらなくしたんじゃないのか。そうでした。ん？いえ、なんでもありません。それじゃあ私これで失礼します。え？
She dashes into the school building before I can stop her.
おい、ちょっと待ってくれよ。
I quickly give chase. She seems to have misunderstood. As I run to the building while going after her, I hear a loud sound and someone lets out a pained cry. She has fallen face first to the ground, and man, it looks painful. Thumbnail.
おい、大丈夫かよ。
Stretch a hand out.
ねえか。
Your replies in confusion, not quite grasping the situation yet. She stands up as quickly as she can in a fluster. Then she starts running awkwardly again, like she's trying to get away from me. Feels like she's gonna trip on something again. But it would probably be better not to go after her this time. Voices from the sports club members training outside now echo through the quiet corridor. I feel restless though all day. As I mentioned, it is because I can't stop thinking about the girl called Rio. I don't know what went wrong, but my words didn't get through to her correctly. How should I deal with this? Isn't like I can just talk to someone about it. I can't believe I'm stressing out over this. Am I this socially inept? I collapse onto bed with a wry smile. Okay, I do have a genuine question at this point, because like the biggest guess I had as to what the Heart to Heart was about was that it's something that Shio did to the side, but clearly that isn't the case, because I feel like that would have been handled in Shiho's route then. So what the fuck is the point of Heart to Heart? I'm asking genuinely. I want to know, because it don't make sense to me currently. Oh, anyways, I should pull out my required reading again. But unless there's like an actual event, I can go down here. Oh. Damnable beasts, bellowed mighty spirit. Tell that stable hand of yours that the great general of highest heaven has come on the orders of the Jade Emperor to subdue him. If he does not surrender himself instantly, we'll annihilate the lot of you. Oh, calamity, wailed Monkey's creature, scurrying back inside the caves. What's wrong? Asked Monkey. His subject repeated the gist of Mighty Spirit's announcement. Bring me my fighting clothes, he demanded. Pulling on his purple gold helmet, his golden armor, and his clout shoes, he seized a karate chop, apparently. Catch him off guard and deliver a karate chop to his head. But the person ahead was not Masashi. I got the wrong person. Struck a girl that was just passing by. I didn't hit hard, of course, but that doesn't solve the problem. How can I explain myself? The upturned eyes beneath her glasses, the braids. I've seen this girl before. Where did I know her from? I remember right. Boy, I don't have time for all this thinking. First I need to apologize. She gives me a look. There we go. He seized his golden hooped staff and led his troops out the cave where he positioned them for battle. At the station, somebody suddenly calls out to me from behind. Who the fuck are you, you little twerp? Let me finish real quick. Taking a monkey's resplendent battle dress, burning eyes and bared fangs, Mighty Spirit had to admit that his antagonist did not look in the least ready to be subdued. Turn around and see a dirty-looking kid. He's glaring at me. Why he points to himself? Kid nods. Saying that, kid suddenly gives Masashi a swift kick. As for Masashi, he dodges the attack with his well-trained soccer footwork. But Masashi doesn't die, because I catch on to the kid's collar before he can unleash his drill Odin kick. Kid kicks me in the shin as he says that. I meet the kid's eyes and ask. And then he replies fearlessly.
そんな覚えないけどな。もしかして誰かと間違えてないかな。
だそうだぞ、坊主。
Yeah, this is a case of mistaken identity. The one he wants to actually beat up is Hiroyuki.
坊主じゃないぞ。亮太だ。
じゃ、亮太。人違いじゃねえか。こいつ、そんな悪いやつじゃないぞ。
でも姉ちゃんが言ってた。
And the kid says a name.
そっか、ひろゆきっつうやつか。それ俺じゃねえか。
何？それじゃお前がそうか？
え？
倒せ。
ちょっと待て。俺だって覚えがねえぞ。人違いだって。
とぼける気か。
ひろゆきなんて名前他にもいるだろうが。
藤田ひろゆきって言ってた。
俺だな。
That's right.
だから待てっつってんだろ。マジで知らねえって。
It doesn't seem like this kid's in the mood to listen to me.
分かった。じゃあこうする。今度お前の姉ちゃんに会った時、悪かったって謝っておくよ。
本当か？
ああ、約束するって。
男と男の約束だぞ。
分かった。
Not
もし
firmly.
約束を破ったら今度こそ倒すぞ。
分かった分かった。
絶対だぞ。藤田ひろゆき。
Who the fuck is your sister, though? I mean, we know, but he doesn't. The bat called Ryota and stomps his way back
姉ちゃんっ
home.
て誰のこと？
さあな。俺だってここ最近女の子を泣かした覚えなんかねえしな。
じゃあ一体。
さっぱりだ。
Don't do it. Back to required reading. Rude and unreasonable monkey, roared Mighty Spirit nonetheless. Do you know who I am? How good are you, dim-witted deity? Monkey shot back. We've never met. Identify yourself. How can you not recognize me, you lying ape? Why, I'm none other than Mighty Spirit, frontline commander under Heavenly King Li Jing from the Divine Empyrean, under orders from the Jade Emperor to bring you to heal. Take off your arm and surrender, and we will exterminate every creature on this mountain. Typical gods. One dude makes a mistake, and they're like, "Fucking genocide him!" Why is the most typical solution that a god comes to just, yeah, genocide will fix it? Like, it's consistent at this point. If you put the slightest resistance, I will instantly turn you into salted vegetable powder. You're the rude and unreasonable one, riposted monkey. I'd have finished you off already if I didn't need you to take a message back from me. Run back to heaven and tell that Jade Emperor of yours that he made a big mistake sending me to look after his mangy horses. Read this banner, he gestured at the great sage equal to heaven notice. And get the measure of my genius. If your emperor gives me a promotion worthy of my abilities, I'll call off my armies and peace will reign in heaven and earth. But if he doesn't deliver, I'll make things pretty hard for him in all divine mists.
お客さん来てるよ。
誰？
ひな山さんとかいう。
ひな山？
Stand up suddenly.
いや、なんか用事。
藤田くん、今ちょっとお時間いいですか？
ああ、いいけど。
お話があるんです。
You arrive at the rooftop. It is empty, which isn't surprising at this time of day. What does she want to talk about? Maybe about what happened the other day? Just as that thought flashes through my mind. Dio suddenly bows down.
いや、この前の放課後のことだったら。違うん
です。おとといのことで。
おととい？っていうと土曜日か。
私の弟が藤田くんに迷惑をかけちゃったみたいで。
Brother. Could you be referring to that?
ひょっとしてあん時のガキ。つうか男の子ってリオちゃんの弟？
突然で驚かせちゃったでしょ。
いや、まあ。
Yes, I was surprised, but I see. I was talking about Rio when he mentioned his older sister. Finally connected dots. Zeta made his sister cry, which meant Rio had been crying.
ご迷惑をおかけしました。でもちゃんと叱っておきましたから。
え、叱ったのか？
That makes me feel bad for
怒
him.
らなくてもよかったのに、別に悪いことしたわけじゃないしさ。
でも人に迷惑をかけるのはダメだって教えないと。理由はどうあれ、それはやっちゃいけないことなんだって。だから。
俺、別に迷惑だとは思ってないけど。
そうなんですか？
ああ。
弟のこと怒ってないんですか？
別に。
ほっとしました。
You finally relaxes and smiles.
いい姉ちゃん持って幸せだな。
そうですか？
ああ。
He is genuinely worried about
な
her.
んかちょっと乱暴なところがあるけど、すごくいい子なの。妹や友達とかの面倒見もいいし。
そういや、ガキ大将って感じだったな。
子供なのにちょっと素直じゃないところもあって。
そうか？俺は結構素直に思えたぜ。姉ちゃんに謝っとくって言ったら、そのままおとなしく帰ってったし。
謝るって？
そうか。あいつと約束したからには守んなきゃな。悪い。
Scratch my head and lower my head a little.
なんか俺、リオちゃんを泣かしちゃったらしいしな。
いいえ、あれは私が。
とにかく俺の話もちゃんと聞いてくれねえか。俺今はまだリオちゃんのこと好きとかどうとかそんな風には正直思えないけど、好きになるもならねえも結局これから次第ってことだろ。そういう意味での友達からってつもりだったんだけどな。なんつうかうまく言えねえけど。
Nevertheless, Rio
藤
nods.
田くんがそう思っていてくれるんだったら、私もそれでいいと思います。
She lifts her
お
head.
友達からでも。
そうか。
はい。
だったらまず俺に敬語使うのやめてくんないか。調子くるんだよな。だいたい同級生が敬語で話してんのっておかしいだろ。
まあ
な。
はいじゃない。そうだよね。
そっちの方が俺も気楽に話せるしね。
There's quite a lot of progress considering I last saw her almost bursting out in tears.
ところでさ、俺実はさ、
Turn away and look up at the
あんな風
sky.
に告白されたのって生まれて初めてなんだよな。だからその嬉しかったぜ。
Say with a shy smile. Just then. Classes are starting.
戻ろうぜ。
Give her a shoulder a quick pat. Rio nods awkwardly. We run down the stairs together. That was wholesome. That was cute. That was fucking adorable. I think Tomoko has to look out now because by God, this one seems like I could very much like her a lot. Anyways, I was over this. Grabbed the book without saying anything, apparently. I was over here on this side. Mighty Spirit gave 3 scornful barks of laughter. You insolent ape. So now you think you're the equal of Evan, do you? Eat my axe, aiming at Monkey's head. He took a massive swing, which Monkey serenely parried with his staff. The battle was on. They clashed to the left and to the right. They confused each other by generating clouds and fog. They split each other with mud and sand. Although Mighty Spirit's axe cut like a phoenix moving through the flowers, it was no match for the iron staff that the self-styled great sage whirled around him. Apparently we have to talk to fucking... Right, we have to fucking walk! Monkey took advantage of Mighty Spirit's exhaustion to aim a direct blow to his adversary's head. Though Mighty Spirit blocked it, his axe handle split from the impact, and he fled the battlefield. Useless pustule, crowed Monkey after him. I'll let you live this time, but mind you pass on my message. Gotta move on.
帰るのか?
Returning to camp, Mighty Spirit kneeled before King Lee, and the stable hand has quite some powers, he panted. I'm afraid I was unable to defeat him. You're a disgrace, raged the king. Off with your head. Calm yourself, father, advised Nezha. Let me go and get the measure of this monkey. Allowing himself to be swayed, the king... Whoops.
自首させる.
King Li banished mighty spirit to await the court-martial, while Nezha stripped of his armor and charged off to Water Curtain Cave, where he interrupted Monkey in the middle of dismissing its troops. Also, domestic violence is happening in. Nezha's babyface belied his prowess as a warrior. He was extraordinarily agile, able to fly, leap, and transform at will, and was armed, moreover, with 6 magic weapons. Who's this dumpling? Monkey asked. What business do you have with me? Monstrous monkey, shouted Nezha. How dare you not recognize me, for I am Prince Nezha, third son of Heavenly King Li. I am here on the orders of the Jade Emperor to capture you. This made Monkey laugh a good deal. Does your mother know you're out, little princekins? Princekins. How many baby teeth have you lost already? I'll spare you this time. For the sake of your adorable chubby cheeks, just read the banner if you've learned to read yet. And tell the Jade Emperor to give me a proper job. If he gives me a promotion, I'll forget we got off to such a bad start. If not, I'll take my quarrel to the Emperor's own throne room. I'll be bringing my staff too. Reading the banner, Nezha was even more provoked. Extraordinary impudence. Prepare for a pounding. Oh no. Oh no. Fine by me, said Monkey nonchalantly, swing away. The furious Nezha turned into a monster with 3 heads and 6 arms, each holding a different weapon. A demon beheading sword, a demon hacking knife, a demon strangling rope, a demon taming pestle, a wheel of fire, and an embroidered ball. Witnessing this transformation, Wukong did feel a slight twinge of alarm. Said his whippersnapper has a few tricks up his 6 sleeves. Nothing to worry about now. Remember a little monkey magic. Monkey also became a creature of 3 heads and 6 arms, his golden hoop staff divided into 3, one for each pair of hands. After no clear victor emerged from the initial clash, the prince multiplied his 6 weapons into 10,000. Monkey did the same with his staff. The local monstrous monarchs scurried inside their caves and slammed their doors behind them. After 30 rounds, though, Monkey's quick wit prevailed. In the thick of the fight, he pulled out a strand of hair and transformed it into a perfect likeness of himself. While Nezha was fooled by the specious monkey, the real one leapt up from behind and hit him hard on the left arm. Reeling from the unexpected blow, Nezha turned and fled back to the camp. Having seen everything from the front of his battle formation, King Li was about to rush into the fray himself, and Nezha pulled him back. Oh, that is an adorable fucking chibi. That is an adorable fucking chibi. Holy shit. This stable ant does know a thing or two about fighting. He managed to wound me on the shoulder. How can we possibly defeat him? Nezha's father quailed. He's planted a banner outside his cave declaring that he is the great sage equal to heaven, explained Nezha. If the Emperor gives him that job, he says he'll agree to a truce. If not, he'll take his fight to the Emperor's throne room. As I'm walking through the shopping arcade, someone thrusts a tissue packet before me. It is the same kind they are always giving out in front of the station. Nothing to do with me for now. I'm about to put the tissue packet into my pocket when I realize something. The person giving out the tissues. Wasn't it Rio? What should I do now? Talk to her. She turns around in surprise. How many is it, Rio?
学校終わってすぐだってのに大変だな。
でもここはもうちょっとで終わりだよ。
ここはってことはこれからまだ何かあんの？
これからチラシ配りとゲームセンターと。
おいおい、一体いくつ掛け持ちしてんだよ。
今日は4つだけ。でもゲームセンターは割と楽だし、紐を見て宛名書きのバイトも一緒にできるから。
ほう。
I'm tongue-tied. I always thought high school students working multiple jobs for money was a TV trope, but here's one right before me in the flesh. Sad to say, they got this. He smiles brightly.
元気いいな。
私元気なだけが取り柄だから。
元気なのはそれだけでも魅力だぜ。その調子で頑張れよ。
And that a slight blush creeps into her cheeks. Her eyes sparkle.
その調子でガンガン稼いだら、 卒業までに家が建つんじゃねえのか？
家は無理じゃないかな。
ま、そこまでいかないにしても働いて金を稼ぐのはいいことだよな。
そうだよね。
Close her eyes briefly and
よ
then...
ーし、じゃあ今日も頑張ろう。これも早く配っちゃうね。
おう、頑張れ。邪魔すんのもなんだし、これはこれで。
Actually, I am curious.
またな。
Hold on. Been a while since this was last done. What's the legacy voice?
よーし、じゃあ今日も頑張ろう。これそうだよね。うちは無理じゃないかな。
That is a very different vibe to the character. Like, some of these characters just feel like completely different characters. Hold on, just like modern area.
それじゃあまたね。
Wave goodbye to each other and part ways. Well, back to my required reading. Let's pass his ultimatum to the Emperor. King Rio-Route. We can always send in reinforcements of the Emperors against the Tonte. Meanwhile, the creatures of Fluffwood Mountain were celebrating Monkey's famous victories with a first-rate feast. Now that I'm the great sage equal to heaven, he said to his sworn brothers, why don't you name yourselves too? Good idea, explained King Boldemon. I'll call myself Great Sage Peril to heaven. Dragon monster opted for ocean-covering Great Sage, a rock fiend for a heaven-merging Great Sage, a lion camel for mountain-moving Great Sage, macaque for fastest wind Great Sage, and giant ape for god-routing Great Sage. At that moment, these 7 monsters could call themselves and do exactly what they pleased. After a day of revelry, each retired to his cave. Meanwhile, King Lee and Nezha were reporting on the war to the Jade Emperor. We were, in truth, surprised by the abilities of this monkey and begged for more soldiers to destroy him. How powerful can one monkey be? One of the Jade Emperor. Reinforcements are required. This time I'm not gonna fucking walk past you, you little bitch. We apologize for our treacherous failure, but the demonic monkey's iron staff first defeated mighty spirit, Nezha explained, then wounded me on the arm. Next reported monkey's demand for promotion. Outrageous, snapped the Jade Emperor. Have him executed forthwith. Gold Star now stepped forward. This baneful monkey knows how to bluster, but not when to stop. Apparently I'm worried. Wait, that we picked this one. I suspect that even if we commit more troops, he won't be easily defeated, and the campaign will exhaust our armies. Why doesn't your majesty bring him around with another amnesty and give him an honorary title? What sort of thing do you have in mind, the Emperor asked. Let him call himself Great Sage Equal to Heaven. A non-stupidary post with no duties. That way, we'll keep him tame and tethered here, and peace will be restored. Very well, agreed the Emperor. Dispatched Gold Star with a second amnesty. Heading straight for Water Curtain Cave, Gold Star found the area somewhat changed. The entire mountain was thick with every species of monster and armed to teeth and spitting with aggression. As soon as they saw Gold Star, they made as if to attack him. Chieftains, the shaky envoy placated them. Please tell your great sage that I come from the Jade Emperor with a special invitation. The crowd of demons pelted into the cave to report to Monkey. That old man from up above is back with another invite. And not a moment too soon, exclaimed Monkey. They treated me so shabbily before, but I expect they've learned their lessons now. He told his lieutenants to wave banners and beat drums and generally put on a good show for their visitors. Putting his red-yellow robe on over his armor, Monkey led his followers to the mouth of the cave. In you come, old chap, he hailed Gold Star, who immediately followed Monkey inside. I understand, Gold Star began, that because of the great sage felt his previous post was unworthy of him, he went absent without leave from the Imperial stables. All officials have to start at the bottom, rise to the ranks, so he really had no reason to complain. After he defeated Nezha, the prince reported back to the Emperor that, oh, hold on, it was a cinch. reported back to the Emperor that you wished to be appointed Great Sage Eagle of Heaven. The other generals wouldn't hear of it, but I stuck my neck out for you and persuaded the Emperor to invite you back to take up your Great Sageship. What do you say? Thanks ever so, Monkey beamed, and sorry for all the trouble, but are you sure it'll go through? I had the title approved before I left. Any problems this time, you can take them up with me directly. Gold Star once more refused Monkey's offer of a banquet, and the two of them headed back to the heavens on a cloud. The guardians of the South Gate this time welcomed Monkey with hands folded in front of their chests, and he and Gold Star entered the Hall of Divine Mists. As ordered, announced Gold Star, prostrating himself, I have brought the rebellious stableland back. I proclaim you Great Sage Eagle of Heaven, the Emperor told Monkey, but this time behave. Monkey gave a huge whoop of thanks, and the Jade Emperor ordered 2 officials from the maintenance department to build a new appointment a mansion to the right of the orchard of immortal peaches. The palace was to house 2 optimistically named departments. The ministries of peace and quiet, and of the spirit of calm. The Emperor deputized a handful of Taoist deities to serve as Monkey's aides, gifted him with 2 bottles of imperial wine and 10 gold flowers, and ordered him to work on his self-control. Monkey retreated to his palace, where he promptly opened the bottles of wine and drank the lot with his new colleagues. Then, after seeing them all off back to their own palaces, he settled down to live exactly as he pleased. But did he live happily ever after? Read on to find... Okay, this one's clearly like an addition from the fucking translation to be fucking funny. Like, oh, read on to find out if you lived happily ever after. Shut the fuck up. Why the fuck did I close this instead of just continuing to skip things? Well, I must remind you that the Great Sage Eagle of Heaven was, when all was said and done, still a monkey demon. Don't do it. He had no idea about rank or salary. All he knew or cared about was that he was on the heavenly register of officials. His departmental aides waited on him hand and foot day and night. As long as he got 3 square meals and a good night's sleep, he was happy. In his unlimited free time, he clout toured other palaces and grew friendly with the constellation of heavenly luminaries. Stars, generals, and guardians. Monkey's burgeoning social network did not go unnoticed, and one morning at court, a Taoist immortal brought it to the attention of the Jade Emperor. With nothing else to occupy him, the Great Sage Eagle of Heaven has taken to hobnobbing with stars. All this over-familiarity and indolence, I fear, will lead to trouble and erode hierarchy and order. He needs to be given something to do to keep on out of the mischief. The Jade Emperor immediately... The Jade Emperor immediately summoned Monkey, who bounded amiably into the throne room. Have you got a treat for me? A promotion, perhaps? I understand, Gold Emperor, that you have too much time on your hands. So I'm gonna give you a job. Now on, you're the caretaker of the orchard of immortal peaches. Don't mess up. The first mistake. Monkey gave his time-honored whoop of thanks and left. Eager to get started, he went straight into the orchard, but was soon stopped by a local gardening spirit who wanted to know what he was doing there. The Jade Empress just put me in charge, so I'm here to get the measure of the place. Immediately saluting his new superior, the spirit summoned the orchard staff, the maintenance staff, who waited. Apparently it was awful here. That feels wrong. Like, why the fuck make me please her when it's literally not gonna get anywhere in the end? Anyways, let's see, where is she? Oh, bench. I think it was. Get Shio's fucking backpack out of my face. I'm gonna get to the station and see someone from the school sitting on a bench. He's poring over textbooks and reference books. You have to be pretty hardcore to study even at the station. And then I realize it is Rio. Even Rio's studying for the exams, huh? I decide to call out to her. Video snaps up from her textbook.
私今日もバイトがあるから、次のまでに結構時間があるから勉強してるの。
バイト？テスト期間中くらい休んだらどうなんだ？
だからチラシ配りのバイトとかは休ませてもらってるよ。いつもの半分くらいしか働いてないんだ。
そんな調子で大丈夫かよ、テス
私もともと頭良くないから勉強してもあんまり変わらないの。
ト。だからってな。
藤田くんは今日のテストどうだった？
俺か？まあそこそこかな。
さすがだね。
いや。
I mean, like, seriously.
実はわからないところがあって、もしよかったらちょっと教えてくれないかな。
俺が？
時間があったらでいいの。次のお仕事までにせめてここのパートくらいは理解しておきたかったから。
英語か。
What should I do? You're on.
分かった。でも俺の分かる範囲でしか教えられないぜ。
ありがと
Face
う。
brightens.
ここなんだけど。
どれ？
Well, this looks like something I can teach. And thus begins our study session.
藤田くんって頭いいんだね。感心しちゃうな。
俺が？冗談じゃねえよ。今日のテストだってヒーヒー言ってたんだ。リオちゃんの方はどうだった？んじゃなくてテスト。
あ全然ダメだったよ。
さっぱりしてんな。
私科学とか全然苦手で。
まあ俺も苦手だな。
物質の性質がどうのとかってそういうの見てるだけでなんだかすごいことを勉強してる気分になるの。レーザー光線とかスペースシャトルとかもうそういう世界。
Not really, though.
性質とか反応とか言われるともう頭の中がこんがらがっちゃって計算式なんか思い出せなくなっちゃうの。
女の子はそういうの苦手かもな。
私は特にだと思うけど。
でも頭がいいとか悪いとかじゃなくて少しずつでも落ち着いて理解するかどうかだと思うぜ。まずは苦手っていう先入観を取っ払ってだな。
へ
Sparkles in her eyes are brighter than
な
usual.
んだよ。
えなんかすごいな。そうだよね。ますます尊敬しちゃうよ。
尊敬ってな。
Better bring her back to our English study session before she starts going completely off course.
どうもありがとう。すごく勉強になったみたい。
そうか？
What did you learn from
この
this?
調子だったらきっといつもよりいい点が取れると思うよ。
Studying like what? How can you improve your grades from just this?
な、そうだといいな。頑張れよ。
Shouldn't rain on her parade.
藤田くんもね。
With that, she dashes off merrily to her next workplace. I feel like Rio's confidence in me is starting to border on blind faith. A wonderful sight awaited among each tree, personally planted by the Queen Mother of the Jade Pool, was smothered in deep pink blossoms and grown with golden fruit. There are 3,600 trees in total, the spirit explained. The front group of 1,200 bear small fruits and small flowers and fruit. Their fruit ripen once every 300 years. Whoever eats one will become an immortal with a light, strong body. The 1,200 in the middle bear dense flowers and sweet fruit. Their fruit ripen once every 600 years. Anyone who eats one will float up to heaven and never grow old. The 1,200 at the back bear fruit with purple veins and pale yellow stones, ripening once every 9,000 years. Anyone who eats one will live as long as heaven and earth and the sun and moon. Delighted by his new workplace, Monkey inspected all the trees and pavilions before returning home. Every 3 days or so he visited to enjoy the scenery and entirely gave up his footloose socializing.
調子はどうかね。
Why are you here again? I have to say awful
もうダ
again.
メ。最悪。
She on the bench again. Yep. Oh, it is here today, too. Setting aside she was yesterday. I decided to call out to her.
よ、今日もやってんな。
藤田くん
She's smiles at me.
昨日はありがとう。
昨日
昨日のアドバイスあれすごく聞いたよ。
なんだアドバイスって。
落ち着いて少しずつでも理解しろって私言われた通りにやったの。そしたらいつもより良かった感じがするの。
ああ、でも感謝すんのはちゃんと点数が分かってからの方がいいんじゃない？
あ、そうだね。
Because what if you scored lower than usual
と
instead?
ころで今日も教えてもらえるかな。
分かる範囲でいいならな。
ありがとう。助かるよ。
多分何の役にも立たねえだろうけど。
そんなことないよ絶対。
おお。
She denies it without a second thought. She's so sure I can help her. What did I ever do to earn her complete trust? After all, I know better than anyone else how useless I am. It's a mystery.
明日は国語だね。
古文と漢字だけ勉強してりゃいいだろ。
原告は
あんなのはセンス命。今さら勉強しようがねえだろ。
そういうものなの？私全教科まんべんなく勉強しちゃってるよ。前のテストでもそうだったし。
That sounds inefficient.
で、どうだった？原告はうまくいったか？よかったって笑いじゃねえよな、これは。
頭良くないから。
向き不向きだって。俺なんかよく先生に言われるぜ。お前は原告だけは点がいいなーって。
すごい。
まあ裏を返せば古文や漢文も勉強しろってことなんだけどさ。
でもそれってセンスがあるってことだよね。裏を返せば。
まあそうだけど。
How many other hands are there? Doesn't the other hand mean the original hand?
やっぱりすごいんだ藤田くんって。そっか、センスか。いいなあ。
そんなものみたいに言うなよ。それに人のものばっかり羨ましがってちゃダメだと思うぜ。やっぱさ、自分のもので勝負しなきゃ。
お母さんも言ってた。隣の家の芝生は青くて綺麗に見えるけど。
ああ、リオちゃんにはリオちゃんの取り柄みたいのがあるだろ。それで勝負すりゃいいんだよ。
貧乏だからって人のものを欲しがってちゃいけないんだよね。
You're poor.
貧乏？
その学力やセンスが貧乏でもそれでも偉くなった人はいるってこと。
いいこと言ってんな。
ひょっとしたら勉強ができなくとも社長さんや学者さんになれた人がいるかもしれないもんね。
いや、社長はともかく学者はいねえと思うぜ。
そうかな。世界中探したら一人くらいは。
そんなの世界を股にかけて探してどうすんだよ。見つけても何の役にも立ちゃしねえぞ。
学力の関係ない仕事だったら。
すでに学者でも何でもねえじゃねえか、それじゃ
あ、わかった。学力の関係ない研究所。
あ。ないって。
でも世界中探したら。
探さねえって。
We've been for a while and time flies by without us being able to get much studying done. One day, noticing that more than half the peaches on the older trees had ripened, he grew desperate to try them. But because his personal aides and the immortal gardeners were always close by, it was never a convenient moment to snaffle one. Till Blansley came to him. "What aside from me, would you?" he asked them. "I feel like taking a nap in this pavilion." Once his mortal attendants had retreated, Monkey scampered up a large tree devoured as many of the biggest, ripest, juiciest peaches as he wanted, not a small number. He then jumped down and summoned his retinue to escort him home. Every few days he would gorge himself on peaches using the same ruse. Time passed in this delicious way until one morning the Queen Mother decided to host a great grand festival of immortal peaches in her palace of the Jade Pool and ordered her immortal ladies-in-waiting, red gown, blue gown, white gown, black gown, purple gown, yellow gown, and green gown, to pick peaches for this event. As they approached the orchard gate, they spotted the local spirit, his gardener, and the monkey aides standing outside and explained the purpose of their visit. "Hold on," the spirit replies, "there's been a change of management around here. The Jade Emperor has put the great sage equal to heaven in charge, and we have to report to him before opening the gate. Where is he right now?" "And Saya, napping on the pavilion. Then we'll go and find him. We must keep our mistress waiting." Spirit escorted them in, but only Monkey's robe and cap were to be found inside the pavilion. For after removing them to climb up and pilfer a few peaches, it went perfectly.
バッチリってとこかな。
Our great sage had shrunk himself to 2 inches tall and was busy snoozing amid the dense foliage of the crown of the trees. "What should we do?" asked one of the ladies. "The great sage often wanders off," advised one of his aides. "He must have left to meet a friend. You go ahead and pick your peaches. We'll let him know you are here." Weaving in and out of the trees, the lady in waiting managed to pick 2 baskets from the trees at the front and 3 from the middle, but there were hardly any peaches from the trees in the back. These thin pickings were green and hard, for of course Monkey had eaten all the ripe fruit. After a long hard search, they finally spotted a red and white peach on a south-facing branch. Green Gal pulled it near, then after Red Gal had picked the fruit, let the branch snap back into position. As chance would have it, Tiny Monkey had been sleeping on that very branch, and the twanging motion startled him awake. He instantly grew back to his normal size, pulled the iron out from behind his ear, and grew to the thickness of a cudgel. "How dare you steal my peaches, you disgusting fiends!" he roared. The 7 ladies huddled together in horror. "Don't be angry, great sage," they begged. "We're the Queen Mother's ladies awaiting. She sent us to pick the peaches for a festival. Because the orchard spirits couldn't find you, we decided to go on with picking the peaches. Forgive us." The monkey's rage instantly melted into delight. "Enchanting news! And who, may I ask, has the Queen Mother invited?" From past experience, the Buddha, the Bodhisattva, the holy monks, and the Arhats of the West, Guan Yin from the South Pole, the Holy Emperor of Highest Mercy from the East, the ancient immortals of the 10 continents and 3 islands, the Dark Spirit of the North Pole, and the Great Immortal of Yellow Horn of the Imperial Center. Then there'll be the 5 Elders from the 5 Quarters, the Star Spirits from the 5 Poles, the 3 Pure Ones, the 4 Emperors, the Heavenly Devas of the Great Monad, and everyone else from the Upper 8 Caves. From the Middle 8 Caves, she'll have invited the Jade Emperor, the 9 Heroes, the Spirits of the Seas and Mountains, and then the Pope of Darkness and the Earthly Immortals from the Lower 8 Caves. But anyone who's anyone. How about me? Monkey smiled. She has not mentioned you as such. The great sage eagle to heaven, explained Monkey. That party won't be the same without me. We only know about past protocols. We don't know what will happen this time. It happens when I'm in front of the shoe racks. Here's someone stumping down the stairs in a rush. Stop and look up. Video's coming hurtling down to the landing at full speed. She jumps down the stairs 2 steps at a time. As she runs past in front of me, she notices my presence and hits the emergency brake. The sudden break in momentum makes her lose her balance. But she fights hard to manage to stay on her 2 feet.
なあリオちゃん、階段ぐらいもう少し落ち着いて降りてきたらどうだ？
今日はたまたま
I'm not sure I believe that. I decide to talk to her.
なんで急いでんのか知らねえけど、階段でこけたら危ないぜ。
それは今日はたまたまで。
She gives the same excuse
た
again.
またまね。あ、さては。
Wants to do a job.
またバイトか？
当たり。
大変だな。急ぐんだろ。悪いな、呼び止めしまって。
いいの。まだちょっと余裕あるから。
どんなバイト？
今日はティッシュ配り。本当はお昼からの仕事なんだけど、事情を話したら放課後からにしてくれたの。
事情って？
学校があるからっていう事情。
He's clearly hiding something. Not that it's any of my business.
じゃあ頑張ってティッシュ配れよ。
頑張って配るね。
Such a strange conversation.
それじゃあごめん。また今度ね。
As soon as she says that, Rio takes off, moving at a speed you'd never expect just by looking at her. Well, back to my required reading. Almost fucking dropped the book, why don't you? Fair enough, Monkey said. You take it easy here for a bit. While I go and find out whether Monkey's on the guest list. Monkey made a sign with his fingers, chanted a spell, and used the mobilization magic to freeze the 7 ladies in waiting beneath the peach trees. He then hopped onto on a auspicious cloud and headed straight for the Jade Pool. As he approached the venue of the Peach Festival, the barefoot spirit ran straight into him. A cunning plan for hoodwinking his way into the banquet immediately formed in the monkey's mind. "Where are you going, dear Barefoot?" he asked. "Why, to the Peach Banquet, of course." "Just as well I bumped into you then. Knowing how fast I am at cloud somersaulting, the Jade Emperor told me to make a circuit of all the main thoroughfares into heaven and tell guests to go first to a rehearsal of ceremonies in the Hall of Perfect Brightness." Shouldn't even need to continue right now. Somebody bursts out from the stairwell like a missile. It is Rio. She is in a bigger rush than usual and isn't even looking at her surroundings. I stopped her.
Oi, Ryo-chan!
But she keeps running without even looking aside. Damn it. Should be able to catch up with her at the gate. Go after her.
よう、りょうちゃん、今日も忙しいな。
お、藤田くん、どうしたの？
Rio stares at me puzzled as I pan away.
いや、なんでも。
She's faster than I thought.
ところで、今日もバイトに遅刻しそうなのか？
私のクラスっていつもホームルームが遅くて。
ああ、そっか、D 組だったな。
The teacher in charge of Class D is dreadfully long-winded. Oh, she's giving out advice on life, how to study at home, and small stuff like that. Makes everyone feel like they're back at elementary school. Not that this teacher's terrible or anything. If anything, he's one of the better ones.
なるほど。毎回あんな調子のホームルームか。
そうなんだ。
まあ、そんだけ生徒一人一人に気を配ってるってことだろうな。
そうだと思う。でもやっぱりもう少し短いと嬉しいな、私。
そりゃそうか。そうすりゃ。毎回こんなに走らなくとも済むもんな。
走るのは全然得意だけどね。
みたいだな。
Mumble a
それじゃ
smile.
あ私、ここで。
ああ、また引き止めちゃ悪いからな。
またね。
Starts to break into a run while still looking in my direction. And then she slams into the power pole right in front of her and falls loudly to the ground.
おい、大丈夫か？
なんともないよ。
本当かよ。走るのが得意とか言ってるそばからこれだもんな。ほら、捕まれ。
Stretch your hand out and help her to her feet. She giggles. It is a happy giggle too. Her body must be made of steel or something.
それじゃあ今度こそ。さよなら。
本当に気をつけろよ。
However, despite what she said, she dashed away at an incredible speed along the sloping road. Wouldn't call that being careful. Strange, ruminated Barefoot. The rehearsals usually at the J Pool. I wonder why they've changed it this year. Don't do it. But because he was an honest, trusting sort of immortal, Barefoot turned his own hollow cloud around and made for the Hall of Perfect Brightness instead. Monkey now chanted another spell to transform himself into the exact likeness of Barefoot, landed next to the palace of Jade the Jade Pool, and entered with a cat-like tread. Go to the barber, apparently. The palace's ornamented chamber was heavy with the most marvelous fragrances. Banqueting table, inlaid with multi-hued gold, was piled high with delicacies, dragon livers, phoenix marrow, bear paws, and orang-utan lips. No guest had arrived yet. Just as the great sage was busy goggling at the scene before him, he suddenly smelled exquisitely aromatic wine spotting in a corridor leading off the main hall. Some immortal stewards distilling some alcoholic ambrosia. The great sage felt his monkey mouth begin to water uncontrollably. He simply had to have some. But how to get past the brewery staff? Magic was the answer as usual. Pulled out a few of his hairs, chewed them to pieces, spat them out, recited a spell, and changed them into a swarm of nap-inducing insects. The instant they crawled over the stewards' faces, the servants crumpled to the ground and nodded off. After guzzling the choicest items from the table, Monkey skipped into the corridor and glugged to his heart's content. Although now as drunk as a skunk, he remained lucid enough to reflect upon his actions. Not good at all. Once the guests arrived, they lamented me for spoiling their banquet. Best go home and sleep it off. Grinning this way and that, Monkey soon took a wrong turn and found himself in front of the heavenly place of Tushita, home of Laozi, the Taoist patriarch. I should go eat something.
Oh, いい天気。暑いくらいだぜ。
Well, I decided to over there. What a coincidence. Seems like she's working for a moving company today. She's sporting a towel around her neck and rolled up sleeves, and she's moving energetically with the tough-looking old men surrounding her. I decided to call out to her.
おーい、リオちゃん。
お、藤田くん。
今日も頑張ってんな。偉いもんだぜ。
そんなことないって。
She flushes and reaches out for a large box in the truck. She looks really cute doing that, but it also looks risky because I just flustered her. So I decide to fucking help her.
よし、ちょっと手を貸すぜ。
おう、いいよ。私の仕事だし、悪いよ。
Turn around and see that the box he was carrying is swaying dangerously. I have a bad feeling. The box falls onto the asphalt road as Rio cries out. There's a case of sorts inside, and you can tell from the dull thud that it had been damaged. Rio suddenly runs towards me.
箱が
中に何かいるよ。
中に
Who would put a moving thing in a box meant for movers? Put a hand on Rio's shoulder and stare at the squashed box. All of a sudden, a gigantic reptile sword emerges from inside. I can't help but shout. The adult-sized, cat-sized lizard was bright green, matte scales. Has bright green matte scales.
イグアナってやつ、こんなにでけえんだ。
I've never heard of a violent iguana before, but this fella does look rather annoyed.
でも、捕まえなきゃまずいだろ。
Leave Rio where she is and slowly creep towards the iguana. Suddenly the iguana starts moving as if it spots something. As fast as I ever thought of something of size could be. This Rio the iguana is headed for. Rio tries to escape but trips and falls as usual. The iguana crawls up on Rio's fallen body without a care in the world. Oh no. Ah yes. He has bested her. I hate that, like... Fucking YouTube, man. Context, hold on. Let me just find the picture again. Copy link. Context. Some dude in the Bossboy server, Red, was just opening YouTube casually and an ad popped up. Well, the problem with that is that the ad in question is, it's this. See, I'm not gonna even make it any bigger. I'm gonna just immediately get rid of it again because, like, Jesus fucking Christ. But still, I have to say, YouTube, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why? Why? People aren't allowed to show anime girl thighs. But a shitty ass AI image of Hexmaniac getting mounted by a dog for some shitty ass, I don't know what it was, fucking like AI chat bullshit website and an ad, fucking perfectly fine. What is wrong with you people? On YouTube, I mean. Like the fucking people that run YouTube. Video wimps from beneath the large reptile.
リオちゃん、じっとしてろよ。
As monstrous as creature looks, it doesn't seem like the sort of thing that will cause someone that isn't doing anything to it. So edge closer to it, inch by inch. Wait. This fellow is a lot more relaxed now than before. Simply stays where it is, turning its head curiously from side to side. He was in tears, shaking a leaf under the iguana, who was lying with its belly on her back. I'm even more careful now. Anyway, what is this iguana trying to do? Keeps wobbling its head around. Look at the direction it's looking at. The iguana is staring intensely at a lock of hair on Rio's fringe that is pointing upright. It moves every time Rio does, and that attracts the iguana's attention for some reason. Just then the iguana slowly opens its mouth and starts bracing itself. It is going to pounce. I abandon caution, run as fast as I can to where they are, and then pull it off Rio's body. Lizard is thrashing around in my hands. Pretty strong for a reptile. Quickly put the iguana into its original box.
Oi, 大丈夫か?
Rio stands up and runs towards me. The lock of hair in question swaying from left to right the whole time.
これだな。リオちゃんのこの前髪、気に入られたみたいだぜ。
The iguana continues staring yearningly at Rio's swaying lock of hair from the box.
私の髪なんて美味しくないのに。
The older men from earlier have gathered around after hearing the commotion. They start quarreling with the client about the iguana. Rio's voice is still trembling slightly.
俺が一緒だともっとややこしくなりそうだから帰るわ。どうも
ありがとう。
はあ、いいって別に。怪我とかしてねえだろ。
全然。
だったらいいじゃん。それじゃあな。
I waved.
ありがとう。
お、頑張れよ。
I ate lunch while trying hard to forget about the scaly feel of the iguana just now. And at home. Back to Mark White reading. I was here. How in heaven did I end up here? No matter, No matter, I've been meaning to call on Laozi for ages, and now here I am. Might as well say hello. Clattering in, he found the place deserted, for Laozi was elsewhere giving a lecture to assembled... hold on. Worthies in a 3-tiered pavilion of a million-mound elixir. Heading straight for the potions room, Monkey found 5 calabashes suspended over a lit oven, each containing fully smelted elixir. Top stuff, rejoiced Monkey. I've wanted to get my hands on some of this for ages. Since Zowzy's not around, I'll have a little taste. Just for research, of course. Took the contents of the gourds down his throat as if he were gobbling up fried beans. Beans. I have anything I absolutely need to do today, so maybe I'll get ahead on some studying for a change. I'm skimming through the textbook. Even just skimming through the textbook should be fine. I was just reading out loud is actually fucking frying my fucking vocal cords. I'm getting hungry, so I decided to go grab some grub and Do some shopping along the way.
あらら、ヒロじゃない？
Why are you here?
志保、今日もお出かけか？
まあね
ふらふら歩いてるだけのくせして何がまあねだ。
これだから庶民は困るわね。
誰のモノマネだ？
いいこと？私は遊んでんじゃないの。庶民の娯楽を研究してんのよ。
何が研究だ。だいたいそれを遊んでるって言うんだろ、おめえの場合は。
へりくつね。
おめえがだ。
あ、後ろ。
She points behind me all of a sudden.
いってて。
Wasn't paying attention and bumping into a passerby.
あらら、ヒロったらどんくさいのね。
ルッセ、見えてんだったら教えろよな、さっさと。
Stand up and turn around to face the person I'd collided
どうもすい
into.
ません。大丈夫っすか？
はい。
あれ、リオちゃん。
Rio stands up quickly while still in shock.
あら、知ってる子？
Oh, that's a cute outfit. She asks curiously.
まあな。
Of all the people to find me like this, it has to be Rio. I have to change the
これから
subject.
バイトか。いつも大変だな。
うん。
お、
She pauses without finishing a sentence and keeps looking between Shiho and me.
長岡さんですよね。
志保のことも知ってんだ。
まあ、いかに私って人間が有名かが伺い知れるわね。
まあな。もともと目立ってる上に自分でずうずうしく宣伝までしてるからな。
なによ、失敬なこと言わないでよ。
ひな山です。
なに？ひな山さん。
長岡さんって藤田くんとどんな関係なんですか？
関係？
But hearing that, she whistles a little and tugs at my sleeve.
ちょっとあんた、この子どうしたのよ。どこで引っ掛けたの？
くだんねえこと言ってんじゃねえぞ。
She's already sinking her fangs in. Rio really needs to work on picking the right person to be honest with. Though I suppose that might be asking for too much.
リオちゃんとはそういうんじゃねえっての。
またまた。結構真剣な目よ。なんかやったんじゃないの？
Rio really loves talking about stuff like this. Her eyes are practically sparkling.
関係って私別にそんな
なんなの？ね、私とヒロって
こらてめえ、勝手なこと言うんじゃね
Both of them turned to look at me instantly.
え。俺と志保ってのは
Just friends.
ただの友達だって。中学の時からずっと一緒だったからな。
そうなんだ。
はあ、ただの友達ね。
なんだよ、変な顔しやがって。そうじゃねえかよ。
まあね、私はね。
あ？
The voice suddenly takes on a meaningful
ヒロに
tone.
は特別に世話好きなお隣さんがいるもんね。
おい、くだんねえこと言ってんじゃん。
それって上岸さんのことですか？
Rio knows about Akari. She grabs my arm forcefully
なん
again.
だよ、さっきから。
あの子、あんたのこと調べ上げてるみたいよ。あかりは私と違って有名ってわけじゃないからね。
Listen, this bitch has done some research.
だからなんだってんだよ。
にっぷいわね。なんでできてんのかしら、あんたの脳みそって。
少なくともてめえのよりはいい材質でできてるぜ。
いちいち可愛くないわね。
After pouting for a brief second, she turns to face Rio with a somber
どんな
expression.
ネットワークを持ってるのかわからないけど、ヒロとあかりの関係を嗅ぎつけるとは大したものね。第一級のジャーナリズムだわ。
こら、意味不明なこと言ってんじゃね
なによ、ひょっとしたら私のライバルになるかもしれないのよ。
え。変なライバル意識持つんじゃねえよ。
ライバル？
見ろ、リオちゃんが困ってるぞ。
私パソコン持ってないからそういうインターネットみたいな話は全然詳しくなくて。
She grasps my arm once more.
うざってな、おめえは。
やっぱりあの子ただものじゃないわ。
まあ、ある意味ただものじゃねえけどな。
あんたも聞いたでしょ。ネットワークって言ったら真っ先にインターネットを連想したわ。 やっぱり私の睨んだ通りね。
そんなのたまたまだろ。インターネットって言えてなかったぜ。
それこそたまたまよ。バカね。
どっちがだ。それよりあかりを持ち出して話をややこしくするのはやめろ。
この際、それはもうどうでもいいわ。
なんだそりゃ。
私、ちょっとあの子に興味が出てきたわ。
Run, Rio. Run! Shio turns to face the back of Rio once more.
ねえ、ひなやまさん。せっかくだから、そこまでご一緒しましょう。時間、あるでしょ？
リオちゃんはバイトだっつってんだろうが、何がご一緒だ。リオちゃんもこんなやつに遠慮しなくていいんだぜ。
途中までだったら私別に。
ほら見なさい。
おめえが威張るこっちゃねえだろ。
As we walk together, Shio interrogates Rio about her sources and how she got information about Akari and me. But Rio has no idea what Shio was trying to ask, and the conversation goes nowhere, annoying Shio even more.
それじゃあ私この辺で。
あら、もう行っちゃうの？
もうすぐ仕事場だから。それじゃあ藤田くん、またね。
Shio smiles and walks
なる
away.
ほどね。読めたわ。
Shio nods
情
smugly.
報ソースはバイト先ってわけね。
Still talking about
さ
that?
っきはインターネットとか言ってたじゃねえか。それにどうやってもリオちゃんが事情通には見えねえけどな。
あんたみたいなアナログ星人にわかるわけないじゃない。
け、自分だって人のこと言えねえくせに。
しかし謎ね。
あ
あの子ほどの手だれがヒロのどこに惹かれたのかしら。
おい、こら勝手に話を進めるな。
She isn't entirely wrong, but it feels like she has concocted a whole fantasy in her head that isn't fully truthful.
あんまりうるせえと置いてくぞ。
ただの友達には随分そっけないのね。モテないのがたまにモテるとすぐに突き上がるんだから。
決定だ、置いてく。
あらら、待ちなさいよ、バカ。
You know there's at least some problem with personality of a character if you feel like you cannot fucking openly like ask them for advice on your love life because everyone else will know, but if you fucking dared doing that. Kinda want to keep going, and that just goes to show how much I fucking did not enjoy Shiho. But alas, that should probably end it soon, so I'm gonna get to the next spot of new content. Nee, 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 nee. Nee, 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 nee. Honestly, something that could actually be kind of interesting to try is like see if there's like an English translation of fucking like stuff like Kizato and play that. Could be interesting. Apparently, I'm supposed to take the friendly approach.
藤田博之だ。去年は A 組でした。部活はやってません。みんな1年間仲良くしようぜ。
I can really tell there's something wrong with like the muscle when it comes to my toes because, my god, even just like completely fucking bending all of them upwards feels odd. This feels like it's gonna be like a 1 minute thing and then move on somehow, but alas, I've never been one to be smart about how I end these parts. Hope you guys enjoyed this one and see you next time. Bye bye.